There's a famous saying by Niccolò Machiavelli. It goes, "You can measure your ruler's intelligence by looking at the men around him." Let's dive deeper into this quote. Your social environment, both who you are and shapes who you become. They exchange habits, norms, values, expectations, opportunities, and ways of thinking. If you consistently spend time with people who push you intellectually and morally, you're far more likely to learn, adopt productive habits, and get opportunities that raise your outcomes. If not, constant consistency simply reinforces mediocre or harmful behaviors. Now, here's a few mechanisms that support this quote. Peer effect, direct influence on your behavior and your effort. Randomized and experimental studies show peers affect your effort, your study habits, and some measurable outcomes. People set norms for what's normal in place, and newcomers adapt to those. Your social capital and information channels. Networks give you access to information, norms, and obligations that enable learning and opportunity. Family mentors and peer groups transmit expectations and help enforce productive habits. This is why from your friends you only hear about when's the next party, when is the next artist coming to the city, but you never hear about job opportunities, you never hear about how to make more money, you only hear about how to spend more money. Social contagion and behavioral spread. Behaviors and not only ideas can spread through ties, health, behaviors, habits, even emotions. Now, this saying by Niccolò Machiavelli has been repeated in many forms which are more common than his own. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Another one is, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And one we all know is, as iron sharpens iron, one brother sharpens another. Proverbs 13 verse 20 says, he who walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm. And then there's 1 Corinthians 13 verse 33, which says, do not be deceived. Bad company corrupts good character. These are explicit warnings about bad influence. How your circle can literally dictate how you live your life. Now, instead of just telling you that your circle matters, let's talk about practical steps that you can take in order to improve your circle. Number 1 is the ordered 5. List the 5 people you spend the most time with. For each person, write one concrete way they influence your thinking or behavior, like your habits, your language, your opportunities. And if this list worries you, treat it as data, not shame. Do not shame your friends. Just use it as data. Remember, you cannot shame your friends if they're your friends, because birds of the same feather flock together. Step number 2, decide the gap. Where do you want to be in terms of your skills, your income, your habit, your faith, your discipline? What kind of people consistently model that posture? This is a map required traits to people or communities that embody these traits that you wish to possess. Now, step number 3, design your intake mix. Keep a balance. Strong ties for social support, discipline, and weak ties for new opportunities and information. Join one community that models what you want, like a book club or a gym. Now, step number 4, be intentional about what you copy. Observe specific behavior in peers that produces results, like study routines, discipline, phrasing, habits, and test them. Consistently copy the mechanism, not just the surface. Example, you copy someone's study schedule or feedback habit, not their exact routine without a reason. So Don't just look at my gym program when I have a goal of getting bigger and just copy and paste it to yours, and you start doing it when your goal is to become smaller. So be intentional about what you copy. Do not just copy and paste without a reason. Now, step 5, rotate and upgrade. At one stretch, contact someone slightly ahead of you. Weak ties are useful for that. Now, please remember, this is your future that we're talking about here. The friends you keep around you are very important. Step 5 does not mean that you should be a friend hop. It's good if you find someone who you can grow with, who can consistently challenge you to become better, and you grow old with that friend. That is perfect. But make sure that you always challenge each other for better and never make it a competition. Always remember that it's not a competition, but a challenge. Step number 6, guardrails for bad company. Now, this one is really important. Limit time with people who normalize self-destructive habits. The phrase in the Bible that says bad company corrupts good character captures this precaution. You can still be compassionate and present boundaries, but be very, very, very careful with bad company, because it will rub off on you whether you like it or not. Their way of thinking, their words, their actions, their habits, their innuendos, it will all rub off on you eventually. So try your best to stay away from bad characters or bad company. But sometimes it's really difficult when that bad company is your family, for example. So just have boundaries and limitations and know what and what not to do. But here's the thing. Remember when I said not to judge your friends because they are your friends? Here's the thing. People choose friends similar to themselves. So I'm going to close off with this. Consistency compounds, but only if you're consistent at the right thing. Your friends and regular contacts provide the habits, norms, information, and opportunities that shape your progress. So choose your circle intentionally. Keep people who sharpen you and people who stretch you, and balance close support with broad connections that bring new ideas. So that is the end of the topic for today. And I want you to remember one important thing. I have a saying for myself: don't take advice from people you don't want to be like. And that goes for your friends. Don't take advice from people who don't inspire you in life. If you hang around with that person all day long, not only are you taking their advice, you guys are rubbing off each other's habits, mindset, way of thinking into each other. So if your friend doesn't challenge you in either way to become better, maybe you should change your friend. Or maybe you should start influencing your friend to become better, and you guys become better together. I do not want you to cut off all your friends and say, I'm no more friends with you guys because you guys are lame. Try and become better together. But if you can't, then you need to cut them off, especially if you care about your future. Your circle matters more than anything, because they will drag you where they go. Stay blessed. Remember, birds of the same feather flock together. So if they don't have your feathers, don't flock with them.